Hello, Leo, and welcome to your latest timeless reading. It's for you when you get here and find it. And as always, use your discernment when listening to tarot readings because you know your life and your situation best. So if you're like, yeah, this helps or like feels true to me, then great. And if not, then you don't have to stick around, clearly. So, I'm pulling from my Prism Tarot and my Iris Oracle. And so far, we got some water energy for you, Leo. We got Loss, 5 of Raindrops, which is the 5 of Cups, and the Oracle of Raindrops, Sensitivity, which is the Queen of Cups. Oh my god, more water energy. Ace of Raindrops, Rebirth. So, I mean, this is interesting for you, Leo, because obviously you're a fire sign, and water is not your natural counterpart, per se. Okay, anything else want to come out from here? Prism Tarot? No. Okay. So I'll show you these that I talked about. Water. And then we got the Devil, Abundance, and the Novice of Gems, the Page of Pentacles, Skill Development. And then let's see what wants to come out from the Iris Oracle, and then we'll get going. Ah! Well, too many. Can't take all those. Kind of just flew out. So, I mean, I guess sort of like the vibe, Leo, is things might be feeling a little messy given these circumstances. Anything else? Alright, great. The Journey of the Lonely Priestess. Anything else? No. Okay. So we also got skill development. Just kind of recap. Oracle of Raindrops, Sensitivity, Ace of Raindrops, Rebirth, 9 of Gems, 9 of Pentacles, Abundance, the Devil, Restriction, and the Lonely Journey of the Priestess. So, I'm not saying that all Leos are breaking up with someone, but there is, to me, kind of this energy of, you know, with loss in this, you and rebirth, honestly, you kind of like needing to go your own way for a while. I'll read the Journey of the Lonely Priestess message to you. 62. To commit to yourself, to commit to further unfurling mysteries, to search for the strongest self you have, can be a lonely journey. A strong, independent, and knowledgeable person can intimidate others who are not ready to be there yet. Your road to truth is what will make you successful and happy, and the people who can't travel beside you should probably go their own way. Your success will serve you in a way that feels very different than the feelings of partnerships, but it is equally, if not more, rewarding. And along your very long and potentially lonely path, if you meet someone on the top, that's great. But for now, keep your focus on getting to that mountain peak. The valleys below will thank you. So, I mean, I was kind of talking about this with a friend yesterday, which is like, we can, like, obviously really desire partnership in our lives, but if we are also, like, following a calling or have some kind of purpose or destiny, sometimes having a partner who, especially if it's not the right partner, can impede us from what it is we're here on this earth to do. And that's kind of a hard message sometimes to hear, but, and it's not to say you don't have friends or that you can't ever connect or that this is like some eternal damnation on you, Leo, that like you need to be lonely forever, but there might, I think, with the Devil, this is restriction here, but like with the Devil energy and these kind of like chains, I think that there might be like I mean, the devil sometimes comes up as codependency, and that's kind of what I'm getting is like you might be over relying on someone else to tell you what to do or give you all the answers. There's just sort of a lack of self trust within perhaps your partnerships at the time that we're doing this reading. But the universe or the message, if this is resonating with you, is kind of like you don't need to be stuck forever. Like you don't need to be chained to people. And that's another thing too. It's not about maybe like never talking to someone again or having to like permanently cut someone out of your life, but it's more like taking space, taking a step away from the dynamic as it is and going out on your own, reconnecting with yourself so that if you do come back together at some point, it's from like a much healthier place. Because right now it feels like maybe the way you're connecting and relating to people isn't super healthy for you and maybe for them too. Like, kind of, I would say that like the connections are coming from fear-based places of like, you know, it's what they say, if you love something, let it go, and if it comes back to you, then it was meant to be, right? If you love something or someone, let them go and set them free. And right now with the chains and the devil and the restriction, it just feels like even these partnerships are maybe not having room. Like we got abundance, and I think like the partnerships want to grow, you deep down want to grow, the other people involved probably want to grow. So I think that there is a need to like have this loss, and this is the 5 of Cups. This isn't the 8 of Cups, which is walking away, but I feel like perhaps it's more about you having to connect with your own abandonment wounds. So I'm not saying in the external you're breaking up with people, right? Maybe it's like you have a long-term partnership and you're not breaking up, but maybe you're kind of going away for a little bit with the Lonely Priestess, right? Like maybe you're going on like a retreat and stepping away from your partner for a while to kind of like reevaluate the situation. Maybe this is like a mutual thing. This is just energy, and like these are general readings, so I'm not trying to tell you how your life is going or what you should do. It's more just kind of like the message is encouraging you to find a way to relate to others on a healthier level, and the first step of that is to kind of learn to be on your own 2 feet alone without anyone else involved. And this card even said, like, if you meet someone along the way or if someone else is involved, great, but you are on your own life path, and maybe you've kind of gotten disconnected from what your own life path is, because I think, again, this relates to me to a lack of self-trust and then an over-reliance on others to kind of give you your definition and your answers and your worthiness and deservingness, but no one can really give that to you except for you. So with the appearance of this loss, it feels like what you're having to grieve is, what is it within you, Leo, that created this pattern of codependency? What is it within you where you maybe lost touch with yourself? I feel like this loss has really less to do with like what you're doing with other people in the end, and more to do with like letting yourself grieve whatever pain you've been carrying that has kind of led to these unhealthy dynamics in the first place, right? Because if you're kind of like over relying on people to like give you validation and answers and like tell you which way to go, but the whole point of your life is for you to navigate which way to go, then somewhere along the way maybe you lost touch with yourself, and then maybe there's some trauma or some past pain that like kind of, or multiple events. I think that this is having to feel all the feelings of your grief, of like why you're staying stuck in your comfort zone. Frankly, this is like, to me, why are you not why are you not why are you not going on your own road? You know, why are you not able to, why do you, like, if this is resonating, the question is like, why do you feel like you can't do it yourself? Why do you not like feel confident within yourself to be able to go after your own abundance? And again, I feel like the reason why there's kind of this period for you of like needing to step away from like the way things have been going and the cycles and patterns and dynamics you've been caught in is because everything wants to grow in your life. The other people want to grow, you want to grow. I already said that, but there's like a lot of abundance that does want to come in. But if everything is happening in this very restricted, fearful manner, where like it's based on like this codependency, and codependency is all based on like fear, right? Like if I let you out of my sight, I don't trust that you're going to be okay. If I let you out of my sight, I don't trust that I'm going to be okay. Right? And having to kind of like grapple with the fact, well, like in the end we all are on our own journeys, so like I am going to have to let people go, and I'm going to have to trust, and if like they don't come back again, I have to accept that. So that's what I'm getting with loss. It's not about what's happening, it's about having to reconcile with the fact that we don't get to control other people at all, ever, even when we're connecting with them, and that that we need abundance, right? Everything wants to grow, so we need to find kind of abundance. All right. And then we have sensitivity. Again, these are all water signs, water elements, which is not fire. But gonna put this out here, Leo. Fire is obviously very powerful, and it's also very hot, and fire kind of, I think, needs shape a little bit just as much as water does. Like we don't want like a bunch of wildfires all the time. And then I would say like maybe I'm getting like the notion of like anger, but like anger being related to grief, right? Like anger being kind of a cover for grief. So I kind of feel like what part of this message is like, not only do you have to change the way you relate to others, but you have to change the way you relate to yourself. Part of this is admitting that you are a sensitive person, especially Leos. Oh my goodness. You know, and it's like, it's not in your nature per se to like admit that you're a sensitive person, or to feel what's underneath maybe some anger that you have. And there's nothing here specifically indicating anger. I'm just getting that from like fire energy and Leos, and this idea of like fear and being stuck. So I think that you kind of need to like embrace some of this water. Like, where are there fires burning in your life, for example, that don't need to be burning? Where can you put out some of your fires? And I'm not saying that in a shaming, condemning way at all. It's just kind of more like things might be getting away from you when you can't really admit that you're sad about something, or that you feel sensitive or hurt about a matter, right? So that's like kind of just, I'm just saying like, don't sweep things under the rug. And instead of carrying on the way you've been carrying on, maybe it's a little bit of like that starting over vibe, or kind of going your own way. So I just think water is not always bad in relation to fire, right? Like, sometimes we do want to put out a fire. And then maybe, I don't want to tell Leos not to shine bright, or like not to be who they are at all. I think it's more just kind of like, where can you release some of this energy that is just building up, that is creating like this dynamic, right? We're trying to get out of this. And the devil obviously theoretically lives in hell. There's a lot. The devil's a complicated card. Again, not trying to shame anyone in this situation. More just saying, like, we kind of want balance. And it sounds like water might be providing the balance, and water being symbolic of you feeling your feelings, admitting that you're a sensitive person, admitting that you have things to grieve, admitting that you need to cry, because when you cry, you actually like physically release emotion and energy in a way where you're cleansing yourself. And even fire signs need that kind of energy sometimes, because that is helpful to them too. And the same can be said for like water signs, right? Like sometimes water needs to be met with fire to like turn into steam to get things going, so it's not like in a stagnant like muddy pool, right? Like there's a yin and a yang to everything. It's not about right or wrong. It's just about finding this balance and kind of like stepping into like your opposite energy of feeling your feelings on this deeper level, so that you can grow into a more independent version of yourself who isn't just like attached to this old way of being, and finding new ways to relate, right? Skill development and rebirth. When you find new ways to relate, when you develop new skills, especially new emotional skills of how you communicate, how you get in touch with your own truth, then you're in a less reactive place, and you're in a less unconscious place, because this place is very unconscious, because it's a place of just kind of like repeating old patterns over and over again, and just being chained to a cycle of something that's ultimately unhealthy. So it's like admitting that that's not working and going your own way for a moment and getting in touch with yourself and your feelings leads to a rebirth and new skills towards relating to people in a way where everything feels a little bit more abundant. Things can grow a little bit more. And there's just a little more health, and things can bloom. And instead of everything being restricted, maybe in this lonely path, you find new fertile ground, and being in touch with your emotions helps things to grow, because you're learning a new way of going about it all, which leads to abundance, which is an abundance meaning healthier ways of relating, connecting, receiving, giving, creating, co-creating, etc., etc., etc. So, I don't know that I feel the need to repeat myself too much this time. If you have any questions, let me know. But I think that was pretty clear. And it'll be fine. It's just kind of like starting over. Maybe that's what I'll call the reading. Just starting over in terms of how you relate emotionally to the people in your life. Trusting yourself to kind of navigate these dynamics on your own terms, understanding how you feel about them, right? So that you're not in codependent, unhealthy trap patterns where you can develop new ways of feeling emotions and relating to people, so that you can kind of be reborn and understand that you are sensitive, and that's okay, and that it's okay to kind of like find, again, relating to like maybe an opposite way of how you go about things now, so that more abundance can flourish and be created on you and on your behalf and the behalf of the other people involved in your life. So, oh look, I just pulled this from the top of the deck. So that's what this is all leading to. It's like you're going on your own journey, so you can kind of get to the Ten of Cups, which is fulfillment, happiness, contentment, getting in touch with your own emotions, not ignoring them anymore. getting in touch with emotions other than anger too, particularly, especially, is part of what I'm getting from this. All right, Leo. I love you, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.